Imagine waking up to a completely new life. No more US taxes, no more political stress, and a fresh start in a country that better aligns with your values. Sounds like a dream, right? But before you pack your bags and say goodbye to the US forever, there are major steps you need to take to make your transition smooth, legal, and financially secure. From handling your US bank accounts to securing residency abroad, from healthcare considerations to potential tax traps, leaving the US is more complicated than just booking a one-way flight. If you don't prepare correctly, you could face frozen bank accounts, unexpected tax penalties, and even deportation from your new country. So, before you say goodbye to the US for good, let's walk through every step you need to take to ensure a successful transition. Decide where you're going and secure legal residency. Many people dream of moving abroad, but few take the time to properly research and prepare for the reality of long-term living in another country. You can't just pick a destination based on Instagram pictures. There are legal, financial, and lifestyle factors to consider. Step 1. Choose your destination wisely. Not all countries are expat-friendly, and visa policies differ dramatically. When choosing a country, consider cost of living. Can you afford to live comfortably without going broke? Visa and residency rules. How easy is it to obtain long-term residency? Healthcare quality. Can you get affordable and reliable healthcare? Safety and stability. Is the country politically and economically stable? Job and income opportunities. Can you legally work or sustain yourself remotely? Tax laws. Will you be double taxed as a US citizen? If you're a retiree, places like Mexico, Portugal, and Thailand offer low-cost living, retiree-friendly visas, and great healthcare. If you're a remote worker, consider Spain, Costa Rica, or Estonia, which offer digital nomad visas with tax incentives. Step 2. Apply for a long-term visa or residency permit. Each country has different residency options, but here are some of the easiest ways for Americans to legally live abroad. Retirement visas, ideal for those with pension or social security income. Consider places like Mexico, Panama, or Portugal. Digital nomad visas. These are designed for remote workers. Digital nomads may want to consider places like Spain, Estonia, or Barbados. Work permits. These are required if you plan to work for a company in your new country. Investment visas. Offered in countries like Spain, Greece, and Portugal if you invest in property or a business. Citizenship by descent. If you have Irish, Italian, or Polish ancestry, you might qualify for automatic citizenship. Some countries, like Panama, Uruguay, and Paraguay, offer permanent residency with minimal requirements. Research before applying. If you want us to dive deeper into this, let us know in the comments below. Handle your US financial affairs. Many Americans overlook their US financial responsibilities, which can lead to freezing of assets, unexpected tax bills, or difficulties accessing money abroad. Step 3. Set up international banking and credit cards. Many US banks flag or freeze accounts when they detect foreign activity. To prevent this, notify your bank that you'll be living abroad to avoid account freezes. Open a multi-currency bank account to easily convert money. Wise, HSBC, and Citibank offer these types of account. Get a credit card with no foreign transaction fees to save on purchases like Chase Sapphire or Capital One Venture. Consider opening a bank account in your new country, but note that many banks require proof of residency. US banks like Wells Fargo and Bank of America have been known to suddenly close expat accounts due to suspicious foreign activity. Always have a backup international account ready. Step 4. Decide what to do with your US assets. Should you keep or close US bank accounts? Keeping one is smart for handling US bills and taxes. What about your retirement accounts? You can still access 401ks and IRAs abroad, but early withdrawals may trigger tax penalties. Own property in the US? Decide whether to sell, rent, or keep it as a backup plan. Renting might provide passive income while abroad. Do you have US investments? Moving money abroad can be complicated and taxable. Be aware that some brokerage firms, like Vanguard, do not allow expats to keep accounts. Check your provider's expat policies and consult an expat financial planner. If you want us to go more in depth about this topic, let us know in the comments. If you plan to buy property abroad, check local laws. Some countries restrict foreigners from owning land without special permits. Now, let us talk about taxes and how to avoid penalties and double taxation. Many Americans assume that leaving the US means they don't have to pay US taxes anymore, but this is completely false. The US is one of the only countries that taxes its citizens no matter where they live, unless you take legal steps to change that. Step 5. Understand your ongoing US tax responsibilities. You must file US taxes every year, yes, even if you live abroad. Use the Foreign Earned Income exclusion to exclude up to $120,000 of income from US taxes. If you have foreign bank accounts with over $10,000, you must file a foreign bank account report. Failure to do so can result in hefty fines. Some countries have tax treaties with the US to avoid double taxation. Check if your new home has one. If you want us to do a video on these countries, let us know in the comments below. If you plan to earn a significant income abroad, consider moving to territorial tax countries like Panama, Georgia, or Malaysia, where only local income is taxed. Here is an example for you. If you move to Thailand and make $80,000 per year, you can use the Foreign Earned Income exclusion to completely avoid US income taxes, but only if you meet residency requirements. Talk to a tax professional about all your tax obligations before you migrate. Let's discuss healthcare because you don't want to get caught without it. One of the biggest concerns for Americans moving abroad is healthcare. The good news? Many countries have better and more affordable healthcare than the US, but you need to set up coverage before you leave. Step 6. Finding the right healthcare plan. Some countries require proof of insurance before granting residency. And some countries, like Spain and Mexico, allow expats to pay into public healthcare systems. If not, you'll need private international insurance. Consider Cigna Global, Allianz, or Geo Blue. Medicare does not cover you abroad, so plan accordingly. Did you know in Portugal, expats can join the public healthcare system for as little as $50 per month after becoming residents? Countries like Spain, Portugal, and Thailand offer world-class healthcare at a fraction of US costs. Research before deciding where to move. Should you sell, store, or ship your belongings? A big question when moving abroad: what do you do with all your stuff? Step 7. Declutter and decide what to take. Sell what you don't need. Downsizing makes relocation easier. Store valuables in a US storage unit if you plan to return. Ship only what's necessary. International shipping is expensive, so consider rebuying abroad. Most expats pack only essentials and buy furniture abroad to avoid high shipping costs. Now, let us review documents needed before departure. Before leaving the US, take care of these last-minute legal and logistical tasks. Step 8. Update important documents. Renew your passport. Some countries require at least 6 months of validity for entry. Get an international driver's permit if you plan to drive abroad. Set up mail forwarding with a trusted family member or virtual mailbox service. Cancel unnecessary US subscriptions like Netflix, gym memberships, and phone contracts. Should you renounce US citizenship? If you're serious about cutting all ties with the US, renouncing citizenship is an option, but it's a huge decision. Step 9. The process of renouncing US citizenship. This process costs around $2,350 and requires an in-person interview at a US embassy. You must prove you have citizenship elsewhere. You can't be stateless. Renouncing US citizenship is permanent. Once renounced, you cannot get a US passport or vote. Think carefully before making this decision. Instead of renouncing, many expats keep their US citizenship but use legal tax loopholes to minimize obligations. If you've completed these steps, you're officially ready to leave the US for good. Before you go, ask yourself, have I secured legal residency in my new country? Do I have a banking and tax plan in place? Is my healthcare sorted out? Have I handled my US financial and legal obligations? So, are you ready to leave the US for good? Let us know in the comments. Where are you thinking of moving? If you found this guide helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, safe travels.